Welcome back, everybody. How's it going? This is Kyle here at Active Management, ready to discuss you guys about the pre-market report. You can follow me here on TradingView.com. You can follow me at Active Management, ACTIV, MGMT, and Petron. You can go ahead and subscribe to our community group. You can subscribe to my detailed research reports that I pull out weekly, just keeping you guys engaged, informed, and well aware of what to anticipate in the market ahead. All right. In today's discussion, we're going to talk a bit about what happened last week, right? A bit of a review of last week's performance, right? Catching up on the B word earnings, confessionals, and this week's fundamental releases, right? Very important, right? So, we're gonna go ahead and get ready to dive right into it. But first, I would like you guys to kindly subscribe or drop a like. It would really help the development of this channel, right? And it would also keep me pumped in putting out these detailed reports for you guys, right? So I hope you guys can help me out with that. That would be awesome. So, new all-time highs in equities, Q2 earnings strength. Guys, it's been very, very, very interesting over the last trading week. Some of the dip buying opportunities were just astounding, right? The results turned out huge this week. 4-day rally, back-to-back new all-time highs in both equities. It was a very interesting trading week, right? Very interesting, right? So, what happened this week? Yep, well, let's go ahead and drop in on that. And, oopsie, let's go ahead and drop in on that and have a bit of a look at this report. So, equities review to new all-time highs, right? This trend has held together, guys, for quite some time, right? Since last year, what, March, right? This trend has been very, very consistent. Many, many weeks behind this one. It's been a very notable trend, guys. Very notable. Definitely would have to appreciate something this consistent. It's been a very, very strong bull rally since the turnaround. But what has happened last week? What happened last week specifically? Coming on Monday, we came on Monday and the markets took a bit of a tip, right? Took off about 3% in the SPY, about 4% in the QQQ. Both Nasdaq and S&P 500 derivatives were down reasonably on Monday, right? Like myself and many other retail investors, we found this a great opportunity to get long, and it was brought to our attention, right? Or it was later reviewed that the brief negative reaction in the market that we got was due to the Delta variant, right? COVID headlines, Delta variant, inflation fears, bond yields going to fresh lows. I mean, this uh, the blend between these different mechanics or that exist in the market, as far as the emotion between the retail investors, definitely propped for some selling. And the selling came in after hours. It came in strong, and it was followed up. Oh yeah, it was followed up big time, guys. It was followed up big time, right? Massive opportunity in the QQQ, massive opportunity in the SPYs for those that were buying calls. Some people were buying weeklies, monthlies. I mean, it didn't matter. The rally was significant. It was astounding. It was great to see. But of those top performing equities, we did see some of these top performing blue chip companies kind of struggle on earnings, and that one specifically I would say was Netflix, right? It was noted that Netflix actually lost 500,000 subscribers, and I would imagine that most of that was due to that specific industry of online streaming just getting branched out a bit, right? Just getting branched out. You have Paramount Plus, we have Apple TV, right? We have Fubo TV. There's Hulu. There's many online streaming platforms available, and a lot of Netflix customers seem to talk about the same thing, that you would scroll through the platform for hours on end and not find anything to watch. That's interesting, right? But Netflix, the leader in online streaming movies, taking a bit of a dent on their earnings this week. All right, we'll probably end up having to go through a bit of more detail about that, so we'll get to that as well. but we're going to go ahead and pass by on that one. But just something to review. Netflix was down pretty good last week. All right, I think it came down about $20, all the way down to about 507 or 510 or so, and then traded a little bit lower after that. I think it's 505 now. All right, but social media followed up Netflix, right? Facebook, Snapchat had quite of an extension this week, especially Snapchat, right? Snapchat making its way from 64 to 77 on a 10% $13 gap up, about a good 10 to 12%, and then extends the rally all the way up to like about 22%. So 22% move. It was a massive day for Snapchat. I mean, really putting it on, really big gap up, really big earnings, guys. We'll talk a bit about those details as well, right? Then we had an internet outage on Tuesday that I think got brushed over. I think a lot of people ended up ignoring that happened on Tuesday, but there were a lot of some of the most biggest internet companies that were down on their website. All right. Um, we don't know if it was a cyber attack, even though that we have had three major cyber attacks and ransoms this year. Maybe that was another one. We don't know quite yet for sure, but I'm sure we'll hear follow-up details from the server company that said they put out an update, and the update is what took down a lot of those websites. So we're still waiting to hear the truth behind this follow-up. All right, we don't know for sure yet, but we're staying vigilant to hear the details. Right, we do have some interest in some of these cybersecurity companies, so we're going to talk a bit about the cybersecurity book as well in the future. So we'll definitely get to that. But just wanted to keep everybody up to par that did happen this week in the middle of the week. Very notable event there. It was very quiet, very pushed over on the side. So that's something to pay attention to, right? New all-time highs in the rally, very steep, right? Very aggressively bought, and it was very extreme buying. Right? The buying was relentless. It was absolutely relentless this week, and it was a truly a sparkle to see such growth in equities this week, right? So the S&P 500 new all-time highs, Nasdaq new all-time highs. All right, very interesting to see, with a little bit of Delta variant fears looming across, with a little bit of inflation fears looming across. As we get down to the weekly fundamental report, down at the bottom, we actually have interest rate discussion this week too. We're going to talk a bit about that too. Earnings confessionals, right? Got some of the biggest companies reporting earnings this week. Got Tesla, right? Tesla reporting after the close on Monday is going to be a big deal. Logitech this week, going to be a big deal. Everybody's going to be anticipating these Tesla earnings. Now, guys, I want you to remember that we're fresh out of a semiconductor shortage. So definitely want to keep that on your mind, that likely, to me, I don't think we're going to meet or beat estimates. It would be definitely a surprise if that were to happen, right? But we're just coming out of a semiconductor shortage, you can't quite say that we're going to reach the numbers on this earnings report. So keep your eye out for Tesla this week. We also have UPS, General Electric, Apple, AMD. Now, see, stopping over by Apple really quickly. Apple's last earnings report was some of the most impressive figures I've ever seen, ever in my entire career, and I can't doubt that they're going to have another stellar quarter. All right. After Apple reporting after the close on Tuesday, UPS, JetBlue, Visa, Alphabet, Microsoft. Another top one, Microsoft, Enphase as well. My clean energy book. We are big long on Enphase during the Biden administration, during the infrastructure bill. During that inauguration time, a lot of these clean energy companies were really on a tear. They really were really on a tear. So it's good to see. We're going to check out earnings in Enphase. We're going to check out earnings in Microsoft, Alphabet, Visa, and Teladoc, guys. Teladoc made some very aggressive acquisitions this year. Can't quite say that they needed to do so many in such a short period of time, but we're going to keep our eye out for what's going on with Teladoc. I just have this interest in Teladoc. I mean, being that we're dealing with COVID and not so many one-on-one doctor visits, we see that the telehealth industry is going to be something to grow into. It's going to be an industry that still needs some growing, but it's also good to be able to grow into a stock, learn more about the industry, learn more about what they're doing, why they acquired Lenovo and some of these other companies, and really learn with the company's growth as well, and potentially adding to your position along the way. But teledoc, I don't know. It's a bit of a struggle. I've been having this conversation with some other retail investors, and they were a little more timid on the fact that they had so many acquisitions in such a short period of time. So it's tough. Right, but it's very interesting to see Starbucks. I think Starbucks is going to keep marching forward. Starbucks never slowed down, guys. Starbucks never slowed down, right? So moving on over into Wednesday, Boeing. Now, Boeing had a lot of things going on as of recently. I don't know if things are going to get better in the short term for Boeing. Boeing's had a rough year. It's been tough. They talked about taking certain aircrafts off the line. A cargo plane recently went down to Hawaii. Boeing's just got a lot of things going on right now. Something to keep up with, right? Jim Cramer talks about him telling his travel trust to buy Boeing as well as the Street.com. But I'm a little more skeptical, right? The 747 Max was a big deal for a long time, and they really couldn't get that thing all the way straight. And Boeing just has a lot going on right now. Might not be the best company right now, but it just has so much going on right now. It's something to watch. All right, definitely something to watch. All right, very good. Don't know quite know why did that. All right, very good. So what else is going on? Shopify this week. That's a big deal. PayPal, right? I want to talk a bit about PayPal. Why? Because PayPal recently started doing cryptocurrency transactions on their platform, likely to have a big beat, right? Bitcoin's up this evening as well. We're going to have a little splash over there as well, right? So that's very interesting. And but PayPal, likely to see PayPal do well, guys. I hear a lot of people talking about McDonald's as of recently. Not sure why. Not really into McDonald's. Don't really see too much of a future for that business. But Facebook has been doing a very, very interesting time right now with their advertising business. It's just been very strong. I do see Facebook going higher and performing quite well for their earnings report. Thursday, MasterCard now. MasterCard and Visa, both payment services are doing very well right now, guys, doing very well. And if they have already been talking about doing a little bit of work with cryptocurrency, as they should, or they will be facing some difficulties in the future. But as of right now, I could see Visa and MasterCard doing very well, having great earnings, economies back open, consumer spending is picking up. So that's a good look. Right? Of all the other social media companies, I think Pinterest is due to have another upside move as well. Right? Pinterest has been having notable good earnings lately. The stock reacts good to these earnings, same as Snapchat, since Snapchat became a profitable company. I think it was in 2017 or 2018. It's been having very good upside movements on its earnings report, and I'm very much well due to see Pinterest show the same. All right, both Pinterest and Snapchat doing very well, very, very, very well in the social media industry, and Twitter probably being the most lackluster. All right, definitely probably being the most lackluster. Is Amazon going to new all-time highs, guys? It is quite likely, right? Amazon is just a monster, right? I do see the stock going higher. Very, very interesting, right? Caterpillar. I like Cat, guys. I like Cat a lot. For Thursday, I like Cat. It may not be in favor of what's going on right now, especially with the Delta variant around. It's put a bit of a pause on the industrial sector as a whole. But I like Caterpillar. If things start to rotate back into value, likely see Caterpillar do pretty well. Caterpillar does pretty well. I also like Maztec MTZ as an industrial ticker as well. Keeping up with that. Not really into too much oil companies like ExxonMobil, etc. But we'll keep up with their performance in the future. All right. we don't really keep up with too many earnings on some of these oil companies. Rather more so clean energy. We see clean energy doing well in the future. We'll rather keep up with Enphase than ExxonMobil, but we'll keep up with both of them going forward. All right, very good, very good. So that is a bit about the earnings confessionals. All right. There's a little bit of detail here on some of the specific companies. I do see Apple going higher. I do see PayPal doing very well. I want to learn more about Teladoc, right? Very good, guys. The B word. The B word was a discussion with Jack Dorsey, Elon Musk, and Cathie Wood on Wednesday this week, where they talked about the future of the Bitcoin industry. And guess what, guys? Bitcoin is on a rally. You know, I knew the flip-flop stance would come out of Elon Musk, but I'm not gonna be upset with him about it. I'm not gonna be upset with him about it. Likely they wanted to buy more cheaper. Bitcoin couldn't go lower, it went higher, right? If it cannot create new lows, it will create new highs. And we're seeing that. We're going to see a 40, 50, 60, 70 plus $1,000 Bitcoin here coming up shortly. And it was a very interesting discussion, guys. Also drop both links in there if you did want to see the bigger version on Cathie Wood's YouTube channel, on Archivest YouTube channel, excuse me, and the 3-minute highlight version, which is a 3-minute highlighted version talking about the discussion, or about the discussion. Jack Dorsey really had some great ideas. Cathie Wood, very, very elaborate on her details, and Elon Musk definitely showing his side of what he believes the future of Bitcoin is like, guys. Definitely want to check that out. Very, very good conversation. Now, Bitcoin. Over the weekend, I talked about Bitcoin. It's rallied back up to these highs. Now Bitcoin's almost 40K now. Right? This report, when I put this report out on Saturday, it was at 34. It picked up 4,000 over the weekend. Massive move in Bitcoin. We are now moving higher. New lows in Bitcoin have been difficult to achieve. If no new lows can be created, we will observe the creation of new highs. And that was my quote when I wrote this, as the picture looked here. And now we're up at about 40,000. So very interesting to see Bitcoin trading higher. Had a lot of good news in that discussion, right? And it's I'm not too okay that it took a conversation like that to get Bitcoin to break out and reverse from here. I mean, I don't quite understand. I mean, China has been banning Bitcoin since Bitcoin's creation, guys. That was nothing new to see them, quote unquote, banning Bitcoin and all this ruffles in the dirt. That didn't change my decision about my Bitcoin holdings. So good to see Bitcoin storming away now, much closer to 40,000 than what's pictured here at 34,304. I think it's like 38.9 right now. So monster move. Coinbase likely massive gap up on tomorrow's open, and every other company that bought Bitcoin. That's MicroStrategy, that's Tesla, that's Square, that's PayPal. I don't know about PayPal, but that's definitely Square, right? Any company that put Bitcoin on their balance sheet is likely to get some upside surprise here on the open on Monday. So this week's fundamental events, though, very important to talk about this week's fundamental events, right? Because Tuesday, Wednesday, super dense, guys. Super dense. Thursday, super dense. We got a lot of fundamental events to release this week. It could create some market volatility, but we have durable goods, right, coming out on Tuesday, new home sales on Monday, trade balance and monetary policy statement, and Fed interest rate decision on Wednesday, and GDP on Thursday, guys. It's packed. It's packed with fundamental events this week. So definitely you want to be careful. Keep your risk light for some of these events, and definitely want to be aware of a lot of the details that are coming out of these fundamental reports this week, right? So very, very good, guys. Very, very good. This is Kyle here at Activ Management Research, where I bring you some of the top news and fundamental events that you need to know to prepare yourself for the trading week ahead. All right. If you don't mind liking and subscribing this video, maybe drop a comment, right? Maybe drop a comment below. That would be nice. I will definitely respond and have a bit of a short conversation with you guys on YouTube. You can also find me on Patreon. You can find me at Patreon at ACTIVMGMT, where you can subscribe to my newsletters as well, and you get this content a little bit ahead of time, and you also get the my small community, access to the small community here of about 40 or 50 traders in that group, and subscribing to the more detailed and subscribing to the more detailed package on my Patreon allows you to have conversations with me one-on-one. We just have discussions. We talk about analysis, ideas. If you want to talk about performance as well, all that is provided on my Patreon as well. You'll be able to reach out to me and we can have those details. Maybe you want to learn how to research fundamentals on a stock. Maybe you want to learn a bit more detail on technical analysis, or how I perform technical analysis, or options, etc. You can get that information from me or through me on Patreon, ACTIVMGMT at Patreon. I'll definitely have the link in the video below, in the description below. So very good. That's mostly of today's chat, guys. I hope everybody enjoyed this evening's chat. Should be very good, and hope everybody has a good trading week ahead, and have a good night.